Mic check, 1, 2.
See my glasses. Go ahead. Shalom, Israel. With I.S.U.P.K, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General YAHANNA, we start off in 1969 where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel. Officer Chaazaq Shapar teaching the Lashawan Qadash class here tonight. Got Officer Chaazaq. We're going to go a little bit over this chart here, kind of familiarize people a little bit. Then we're going to pull off of it some prepositions and some, well, let's see. We'll see how far we can get with adjectives. Who else checked in the class there?
That was me for share, like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, good. Good. Appreciate that. And let's see who we got in the class. Jada. Who else? You tell the people. Okay, we will tell Salaki for a second. Yeah, we're streaming pretty good. We're good then, right? Okay. Want everybody to like and share the class here in Greenville, South Carolina, for the Lashawan Qadash class. Before we get into a little bit with more understanding, you know, like and share your class. We're going to talk a little bit about a little bit further on with our characters, like we did last week. Go to the screen. How are we looking on the screen? No, not there. Chaazaq, your phone. How are we looking? Whatever that is, this is what it is. Turn your sound down. You can hear. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear. Okay? I'm presuming that we can.
Yeah, everything too up.
Everything too loud?
Okay.
What does the screen look like?
It's good.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah, it's too up.
Yeah, let's go by that and got your chat, right? Okay, yes. We're we teach the Assyrian and the some people call it Paleo Hebrew, but it's actually the ancient Hebrew, the oldest Hebrew there is. And you can see a lot of languages go by what we teach. A lot of languages were established by what the Hebrew is. You know, the Most High confused and scattered those languages in the Tower of Babel, or Babel. A long time ago, thousands of years ago, to keep people from joining each other and separate. And that's where we are now. You want to separate yourself. As a matter of fact, you got Israelites out there that have separated themselves from the true identities of the Most High and the commanding general YAHANNA. You can't all be different. That's what happened to John the Baptist, right?
Right.
He didn't accept Christ. He sent his disciples to do this, do that, do this. And of course, that's what the mistake is. That's what people need to understand, that there's only one. When the Most High on this earth, he don't communicate through thousands of camps. That's just plain dumb. You gotta go by one camp.
Right.
Right? That's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under commanding General YAHANNA. That's where all these fake camps came from. And then, of course, they'll get in a lot of things that are not complicit with the word of the Most High. That's what you have to understand. So we're going to understand. We're going to get into like we talked about last week. How many like when we say the Hebrew language, we say Abba, Gada, Hawazaka. What you hear is what? What do you mainly hear? So how many vowels are there in Hebrew? How many vowels out there? People, put in the chat how many vowels there are. I'm assuming everybody can hear me, right?
Okay.
Put how many vowels are there in Hebrew? How many vowels are there? There's only, you have Abba, Gada, Hawa, Zakataya, Kalamana, Sa, I.Pa, Chaazaq, Shapar. That's what you're hearing. That's what you're listening for. You want to understand, so it makes it a little easier when you could break down what you're listening to, right? Anybody? We'll give you guys a couple seconds. How many vowels do you hear? And the difference between, and how many characters are there? These things are not just mundane in talking. They are much needed to understand this language, because you always have, I go over this every night because you have a lot of people beginning class, and it helps fortify the characters. So when I say ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka, you hear the same sounds that you hear in the ancient language as you do in the Assyrian language.
Right.
In the Assyrian language we use when we were in captivity, man. That's they forced us to use their characters because they didn't want to see the old Hebrew. They didn't want us to know who we were. So, but back then at least we had our language for talking, and they said, well, they stole our identity also. So how many characters? How many vowels do we have? Go ahead, Claude.
Two.
We have two, huh?
And I.
We have a what?
I.
A and an I,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
That's what you hear primarily. Everything else is based off of every symbol there. You're going to have a sound that has at least one of these sounds or two of these sounds in there, right? You
Right.
have named Zara I. You have Zarai. But that's the point. So you have a ah, right? We're gonna need an eraser when you get a chance there, okay?
Okay.
A ra, ah, and then we have in the ancient like that, okay? And then we have, of course, like this. Then we have like that. Oops. Sorry about that. We got some erasing going on over there. But anyway, these two sounds here, that's what you want to hear. Primarily, ah and I. Because that means all the difference in the world when you're trying to form a character. Because in other words, if you're going to use anything, the water,
That's about.
you want to use anything in the Hebrew, you're going to have to go by these two sounds. That's important, right?
Okay.
Of course, if you don't use these sounds and you're not speaking Hebrew, like the Yiddish, what do they use? Stuff like, they got to spit first before they talk. Right off the collapse off.
Okay.
I mean, when I taught you this language, is you were like saying ah so many times, right? And I so many times. You said, man, hey, well, that's how we talk. I mean, the language. When the Most High say you're gonna be under a subject of people of heathens, man, of Edomites, in the English language that we speak, and a language that you're not gonna even be able to understand.
Right.
You're not gonna understand it, man. So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into the board. We're gonna make some words out of it. Then we're gonna put some prepositions, and we're gonna have time. We'll put some possessive adjectives in there also. We're gonna make up some words here. Get into it a little bit heavier and deeper, right?
Okay.
But what we're gonna do right now. By the way, how many characters are there? We'll let people. If you're in the chat, go ahead and put in the chat how many characters are there. People that's checking in. I know we have who we have? Azad, Jada, and
That's it right now.
any other officers out there that's 50, you should be checking into this class also. You should be checking in. I mean, this is how you learn the language. By checking in the class and participating and understanding, supporting your brothers and brotherhood, right? And learning the class. Do we have Officer Sharp put that in the chat yet? So you can get your name, for people to get their Hebrew name, make sure you sign up the Hebrew name chart to get your name. Did he have it in there? Yet?
Okay.
He does?
Now y'all had put it.
Huh?
Now y'all had put it up there.
He did?
Okay.
What did he put in there?
The sign in.
Okay, good. As long as it's in there, that's the point.
Well, it's in the group chat.
It's in the group chat?
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it should be up there. As long as we can't really get into YouTube because we don't have a Facebook in there. Plus, we have some problems all around here. Who else is in there?
Not Chaazaq Shapar, real. Labaya.
Labaya's in the chat. Good. So glad to have Chaazaq Shapar's rib in the chat. Let's clap it up for the people in the chat, man, for taking the time to join class wherever you are in all walks of life. People come from work, people in their home, taking care of children, making food, and yayan, and between the yayam, mayam and the yayan,
Right.
and their food, man, at least this is what they're doing. I'm not gonna get it too detailed with class, but I want you to, anyway, how many Hebrew characters are there altogether? Anybody remember? Because when you say Abba, Gada, Hawazaka, you gotta learn these things frontwards and backwards. That's the reason why we go over this every week. So when you begin to understand, you understand, why does that sound like that? In certain instances, some things will sound like something you'll wonder, how do we even get that sound? But it comes from this chart right here. Abba, Gada, Hawazaka. And that's what you're saying. Like you say the ABCs, that's what you're doing when you go over this, okay? So, anybody? In the Hebrew language, we have, in the ancient Hebrew, how many characters are there? How many, in other words, how many, you call them alphabets, but it's really not alphabet, it's just a character. Because it looks like a character. Right?
Right.
Like, like it looks like this, like that, right?
Right.
All right, think you remember some of these characters, Chaazaq? How many are there? We still got people over there trying to figure out, we're trying to figure out how many are there.
22 in the ancient Hebrew.
There's 22, right? Okay. And how many would they be if you're talking about the Assyrian? Because the Syrian people, when we were in captivity, they wanted to use their characters to identify us with them.
Right.
When you go to school, instead of them teaching you Hebrew, what language do they teach you?
English.
They teach you English.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
They teach you A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right?
Right.
H-I-J-K-L-M-N-O-P. Because they want you to identify with them, man. But you know, the only reason why we speak that language and speak this language now because we're in that captivity. You know? So we're getting back to our original 22 characters in the ancient Hebrew in that chart, right?
Right.
And in the Assyrian Hebrew, how many characters are there?
27 with 5 in the characters.
27. And then when you first started off, you were all over the place, wasn't you? But you know now there's 5, and you answered that like a pro. Well, how many?
5 in the characters.
Why is there 5?
You said why is there 5 in the characters?
Yeah.
To show you that it's that like Shalom. It would be like the M.
Can you spell Shalom on the board?
Okay.
All right, spell Shalom up there in Hebrew. Spell it in the ancient Hebrew so you can get the ending characters, right? Go ahead. First of all, write the word on the board. I want because people to look at this because I'm gonna get you to do some transliteration here in a second. Shalom, right?
Okay.
All right, now go ahead. Start that. You start Hebrew from left to right or right to left?
Right to left.
Right to left, all right. Here you go. There's a eraser for you. That's professional law. It's come a long way, man. We're gonna write some words up here and see how you people have picked it up, how our people in the chat have picked it up even better, man. What you got? Shalom? All right, explain that ending character there. Go ahead.
The Shalom.
Holy Moses.
I don't know how to explain it.
Huh?
Cause the regular, cause if it was a ma, cause that's a ma. So if it was a ma,
You mean like like this?
Right. Yeah, that's the ma at the beginning or in the middle somewhere. But at the end, it lets you know that it's a.
Or anywhere but the end, right?
Right.
So when you read it, it's like the customs of the Assyrian was to put this ending character there.
Right.
We don't know why the hell they do that. That's just the way they do it. That's it. They have some reason, you know, but we know this is what they've done. Maybe those letters have something to do with like how we capitalize things or how we see things. I don't know. We'll give it that. I mean, you know, but it's a chicken scratch language anyway, right? Who else we got in the chat over there?
Sister Sarah.
Sister Sarah, okay, good.
Got the nothings I read.
Uh-huh. Is your cord working over there? I need that. I need you to plug this cord in somehow. I need that. This ain't working right. least a cord. Why is it on that portable charger? It can be plugged into the wall. You can't plug it into the wall?
Yeah, it's part of the charge.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Alright. I don't know what's wrong with that thing. How come it can't plug into the wall with real electricity?
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Okay. You sure? No, how come this can't plug into the wall?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It was fucking. It's charging. It's a portable charger.
I don't know if it's charging. How come this can't plug into the wall? Can I take that out and plug it in the wall?
Yeah.
That may be going down. You know what I'm saying? You can still use that. Alright, go ahead back to the board, I'm sorry. See? We know that's gonna get direct electricity, right? Alright, sorry about that. Where we at? You can use that. Yeah. Okay, shalom, right? Would normally have this, right?
Okay.
Would normally, right?
Okay.
Okay.
But in the ancient, it wouldn't.
In the ancient, you mean in the Syrian?
Yeah, in the Assyrian, yeah, it was like at the beginning of the
Right.
middle.
Go ahead and erase that. Where's your eraser? All right, do that word in. Okay. But anyway, that's one of the ending characters, right?
Right.
All right, that's shalom, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's get. Go ahead and do it in the. Hold on for a second, there, people out there. You gonna finish it? You gonna put some connectors on that? All right, cool. All right, good. All right, let's see. Very good. Now you can hold on to that one. Just kind of cover it right there. Shalom. So we got shalom. What does shalom mean, man?
Peace.
Peace, right? We got shalom, right? We had a, what is this connector called right here?
Dependent.
Huh?
Dependent.
Dependent what?
No, independent.
It's an independent connector, right? And what is this?
That's dependent.
Dependent what?
Dependent connector.
Right, so independent, dependent connected. And then how do we, now what's the difference between that and this up here?
Because
That, the Syrian up here and the ancient here, what's the difference?
the Assyrian up there, they made a character for the ending. Like,
Well, it don't have connectors either, does
they
it?
don't have it.
But here you do. So which one is more explanatory?
The ancient-
Here or there?
The ancient,
Why?
because it show you where it's actually.
You can pronounce the word a little better,
Right.
right?
Kind of, okay.
Okay, we got somebody else in the chat?
Lie.
Okay, so you understand that a little better, right?
Right.
All right, who else we got in the chat now?
Sister Sarah said Assyrian has no connectors.
Assyrian, yeah, that Assyrian, the Assyrian, clap it up for it, right. Shira is right. Assyrian doesn't have any connectors. Up here, all they have is ending characters.
Right.
So it's easier to understand something when you have more meaning to the word.
Right.
More things breaking it down in a little better, right?
Right.
All right, let's do this. Let's do, I want people to tell me what this word is. Tell me what this word will be. me what this word is in the chat. We want people in the chat. Tell me what this word is right here. Okay, go ahead. In the chat. Who? What you got? Slow as hell. All right, go ahead. Tell me what this is. Tell me what that word is, guys. We're gonna. Tell me what this word is.
Salakia. Sister Sarah said, Akkad.
Spell it.
She said A-C-H-A-D.
A what?
A-C-H-A-D. And
Okay.
and Sister Labaya said A-H-C-H-A-A-D.
Uh-huh. So, now watch this. What about this word up top here? That looks better? Which one looks better? Kind of prove it, trying to see if you guys.
It's probably like a 4 or 5 second delay.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's showing good. It's just 4 or 5 second delay.
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. It's what we're stuck with on this evening here. We always get a leftover on Friday night version of the video. In other words, same word, right?
Right.
Which one is better? And I'm assuming, what does that spell? I mean, I'm assuming you guys, did somebody got it spelled right in there?
Nobody said anything yet.
But I noticed, so even from here, it's hard to tell what that word is. But who spelled the A-H-C-H-A-A-D? What we got?
Sister Labaya spelled the A-H-C-H-A-A-D.
Mm-hmm.
And, Sister Sarah said 1. I guess you're talking about the first one.
Yeah. It spells 1.
She just said 1.
Yeah, she's right. It spells 1. But the point is that it's harder. The Syrian is harder because of why? Don't have any connectors, man. There's no. Go ahead.
Nah, I was thinking she was saying 1, but I just realized that is. That's how.
Let's clap it up for class, because no, she's just telling you. She translated it for you, right? It means 1, right?
Right.
All right, and then she's right. But you're gonna have problems here when you're trying to spell a word that doesn't have much continuity and guidance to it. And that's what the Syrians do. That ought to tell you that it's not a sufficient, it's harder, right? You can read it, but it's very hard to understand, right?
Right.
All right. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of.
Now, all right. Oops. All right, I want you guys to transliterate this word. What?
Sister Sarah said, Salakia, sir, when reading the Assyrian,
Yeah.
I use connectors.
When reading the Assyrian,
Okay.
no, there are no connectors. There are no connectors. No connectors when reading the Assyrian. All right, tell me what this word spells. There are no connectors. That's my entire point. There are no connectors at all in the Assyrian. That's what makes it so rough. It makes it a rough language. You have to actually get used to using that language because there's no continuity in it, like the language that the Most High gave us. That's how you know that that language is not the original language. It's not a full continuity. What you got?
I was gonna say you might have to do that first one again because you can't tell on
Where?
the shot.
Where?
The first one. The first one.
Here?
Kind.
We can't tell. What you mean?
Yeah, I don't look.
What do you mean it don't look?
It just, I don't know, it look together.
Huh?
It just look together. I don't know.
Oh, you can't tell? You
I
can't.
can't tell what it is.
Well, that's the whole point. You should be able to figure that out.
Alright.
How about that? Like that a little better for you?
Okay.
Yeah. That ain't too much different than what I did.
So like,
You should be able to figure it out.
but
What we got?
Sister Labaya said Shema Wana.
Tell how's it spelled? And what anybody else? Let's see. Let's see what. Let's see. Let's spell it out. What we got?
She said SHAMAWANAH.
Well, take slow down. S-H-A what?
MAWANAH.
Yeah. Actually, she's right. So we ain't got enough letters up here, right?
Alright.
So we're gonna do this. You ain't right, and I changed my mind. How about this? Let's do this one. Yeah, like this, I think. I forgot how to spell the thing myself. Like that. Is that better?
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, what we got?
She the only one that said something so far.
Well, let's see. That's what she's spelling out, right?
Kinda.
Okay. Oh, I tell you. Now that one looked right there. If you ain't careful, that looks like a B.
Right.
If you ain't careful. So we're gonna do this. How about that? That's why you have to shorten this, because what does a B look like? Like this.
Like a C with a long bottom.
Like that. It almost looked like what I had up there.
Right.
But, so in other words, you gotta make it narrow and shorter. That's the difference, right?
Okay.
Alright, anybody else?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Okay. Shama wa na. Right?
Right.
Shama wa na. What does that mean? Anybody? Go ahead.
Number 8.
Number 8. It means this 8 right here, right?
Alright.
Okay. That's the number 8 in Hebrew,
Kinda.
right? Good. Now I'm gonna do something here special. I'm gonna see if you guys can catch on to it. I think I may have had a class like this before. Anybody got something there?
Sister Labaya, I said 8.
8? What happened to the rest of my people in that chat? What are they doing over there?
I know, Sister Jetta said she checked in for slavery.
Okay, good.
And,
All right.
Sarah, Sister Sarah, I don't know what she went to.
No, that's fine. I understand. A lot of people in slavery, and I got it. I understand that. That makes sense. That's nothing wrong with that, okay?
Right.
I appreciate that. Okay? Check this out. All right, tell me what this is in the chat. This word. And I'm throwing a curve in there, especially on purpose for you, so to see how many people are paying attention. Anybody got something there? What we got for the chat?
Hatasha, that's what
Who?
Sister Labaya, I said.
What did she spell? What she got?
H-A space T-H-A-S-H-I.
T-H-A?
S-H-I.
What is it?
S-H-I.
What does that spell? That's what you're saying?
Kind.
What does that spell? In the chat. And what's wrong with this? In the chat, what we got in there? What we got?
She just said kind of the one right now. I guess she was saying that that's what she had.
Yeah. And what is this spelled? Like Hathashai, right? And what's going on up here? What doesn't belong there? Tell me. In the way we spelled it, before we even correct anything, let's find out let's correct the word spelling up there. What's going on? What we got?
She said it's ancient. She said it's ancient and not Assyrian.
What's ancient? Oh, she said ancient and not Assyrian?
Okay.
She said, what did she say about it? She said, well, I think what she's really saying is she's saying that shouldn't be there.
Right.
So what should be there, right? Should be like, and she caught on to it, right? But only she was able to spell it. Should be like this, right? Right?
She said the thigh is Assyrian.
Exactly. There you go. Who said that? Was Labaya? Clap it up for her. Huh?
Labaya.
Yeah, she's right. she said the tha was a Syrian, kind of like just threw that up there. So what do we have? An independent connector, right?
Right.
And a dependent connector, the shy. What does the shy mean? I'll let them in the chat, Bill. Give them a chance. I think you may know. Anybody in the chat? What does the shy mean? Anybody? What'd they say?
Not yet.
Yeah, somebody's got it right there.
Sister Labaya said 9.
It's 9, right? So if I say this means 9, right? Okay. So what does this mean? We're going to learn something about prepositions today, as we've done in the past. So if I say ha, the shy, it means, it's just a way of saying the 9. If I want to say the 9 people, the 9 horses or whatever, the 9, right? So it's a way of saying it. Ha, the shy, right? Okay? So, if I want to say the 9, anybody else got something in the chat over there?
La.
If I want to say, something and put the 9, or I could say the 8 or the whatever, what would be the preposition to that word? If I said the, it's a preposition right here, right?
Right.
That's what that is. Okay? That makes sense?
Okay.
Okay. So, I mean, you can put anything after it. Okay? Name something you want to put after it.
Alright.
You can put the 9 houses, the 9 bottles, the 9 men, right? Okay, go ahead.
So when we say Yahweh Shai, that's saying Most High in Christ?
When you say wah.
Right.
Wah? Yeah, but we're not talking about that right now.
I know, that was just a question.
Question? You want to know what wah means? Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
Wah equals and.
Okay.
Okay? You want to say that. Okay?
Okay.
But that's what that is. That's it's just that would be sort of like, it's not quite like a preposition, but it's another word name for that when you use it in that sense.
Right.
Yeah, I just kind of gave you something to go from right there, sense there, okay? All right. So we got that pretty much. All right. All right, let's see something here. Let's see what we want to do here. Let's see. All right. What does this word spell? Take your time, let them guess in the chat. See what this thing's done here. Man, this thing ain't charged worth a dime. You know that? I don't know why. At least it ain't saying it is. That's pitiful. So bitch, let them transliterate that.
Sister Labaya, I said, Karab, yeah?
Okay, hold a minute. Be there in a second. All right, what you got?
Karab, yeah?
Spell
Q-A-R-A-B.
it. Q-A.
R-A-B. Y-A.
That ain't right. Ain't what I want. I think I might have spelled that wrong. Hold a minute. Almost certain I did something wrong here. Take that word off for a second and let me redo another word. I think that's that ain't what I wanted here. Let's do another one, okay? Sorry about that.
Sister Labaya, I said the screen done froze.
Did it? It'll come back. It'll come back. Yeah, try. Yeah, let's do that word right there. The screen froze. Still froze.
Kinda.
Has it froze on your end?
It was just loading, it ain't showing yet.
Okay.
Mine trying to load.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, it's straight now.
It's straight now. Okay. Let's do that word right there. Go ahead and translate that word, guys. You got it up there? Alright, what we got?
Sister Labaya said Allah.
Mm-hmm.
Alaya.
Spell that.
Say I-L-A H-Y-A.
So what does this mean here? It means to ascend, right?
Right.
But then, so we're gonna say this word right here. I think, look up ascend, see if I spelled that right. I think is it, how you spell ascend? No, I got it. A-S or A-C? A-S,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's A.S.
I think that's right. Look that word up. What do you got? Let's look at the screen there.
She said screen frozen again.
Frozen, yeah, it'll come back. It's going in and out.
A-S-C-E-N-D.
Like I got, right?
Okay.
Okay. So if you have the word ascend, and then you're putting a yah on the end, what are you really doing? You're showing possession, right?
Right.
You're saying, I ascend, right?
Kind of.
So you want to say, you ascend, or I ascend. So you want to say, you want to do it like this. I ascend to the mountain, or something like that, right?
Right.
Or to the valley, or whatever word you want to put in there. But when you use Yah, that's called a possessive adjective is what it is, okay? So you say, ala Yah, right? Ala Yah, okay? So if you want to say, I ascend, ala Yah, okay? Or to ascend, or you ascend, or somebody's saying I ascend, okay? Ayla Yah. Y'all got it?
Right.
Got that?
Kind of.
Okay. And that's where we get the word from, Ayla. Spell that right? Yeah, to ascend, okay? Everybody got that? Okay, we're breaking in some, give you some understanding of what possessive adjectives can do for a word, especially when you understand the root of it. Okay? I ascend. So when you read words up there, like, if you can, don't matter if you wrote that in the the Assyrian or the ancient. If you wrote it in the Assyrian, it's going to be like this. What's that going to look like? Right?
Right.
Okay, like that, right? Allah, and then you want to write, what we need, a ha? Then we need a ya, right?
Right.
That what a ya look like nowadays?
Kind
So you say, Alaya. So when you're reading it in the Tanakh, you read stuff real fast, say, Alaya. Alaya. Ilaha. Ilaha. Allah. Yeah. It's almost sound like hallelujah. But it's saying Allah. Ilaya. Ilaya.
Right.
That makes sense?
Kind
Means I ascend. So now our language is starting to make sense when we use the proper possessive adjectives and the proper root words and the proper prepositions to aid that word, right?
Right.
That's what you want to do. You want to kind of take your time, Okay? Let's write another word up here. Seems like we got, we'll let everybody catch up here. We got LaBaya putting her foot on the metal.
You got Officer.
Who's that?
You got Officer Yathan.
Who?
Checking in from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Ayathan?
Yep.
Who's that?
Officer Yathan.
How you spell that?
AHYATHAN.
Okay. Let me see what you're talking about. I can't see who they're checking in. Oh, Ayathan, okay. Checking in from Fayetteville. Glad to have you here. Officer, I guess. It's officer, right?
Kind of.
Okay. Good. Alright, let's break this word down right here. Well, let's find out what this word does here. Let's see. Let's see. What else we gonna do here? All right, here's a good one. Let's see. This is, of course, we're learning. Like I said, we're learning prepositions, possessive adjectives, and some root word vocabularies to understand. So when you want to put them in a sentence, it'll make it a lot easier, right?
Right.
So what do we got here? Y'all break it down. The bias, you got a foot on the pedal though, so he'll wait on you. And of course we'll wait on everybody up in here. We got Latazar and Jada, we have Labaya and Shara and Officer Ayathan. Fayetteville. Okay? I'm not sure. Can't remember. Phone is not working so well tonight. Anyway, what we got there? Keep up with the chat.
Sister Labaya, I said the screen frozen, they ain't moved yet.
Okay. Probably ain't moved from the last time I wrote something, huh? We'll wait on everybody though. We're having screen problems, difficulties after we do a full week of classes, and then by the time we get to Lashawan Qadash, whatever we get from leftovers to people's screens, this is what our class gets. So, this is where we are. But sometimes the screen will freeze up a little bit, but we're working on that, right? We got a word here. We want you to transliterate. We're breaking it down for you. Go ahead. Still frozen on your end?
Okay.
I'm thinking sometimes since it's got a delay by me moving, every time I move, it's got to focus.
Mess it up.
Right, it'll buffer. I think that's got a lot to do with it. I hate when it does that. But those kinks will work out. Okay? Let me know when that stops buffering there on your side. So you can tell from your screen, right?
Okay.
Still froze?
I had to go back to it. My phone had went out.
Why'd your phone go up?
Now you know after so long it'll go black.
It's froze, unfroze?
Yeah, it's still froze.
Dang.
It's still frozen. What was that? Alaya.
Oh man. Let's keep working with it here. You know, this thing is charging, but it's saying 0. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you might have to let it go all the way there, then put it on the.
But it's charging. It says it's charging.
Yeah, sometimes the phones be doing it.
Okay, that's all right.
Oh, it's up there now.
It's up there? Alright, guys, if you can hear me, go ahead and transliterate that word because apparently we have some difficulties with the screen there. Can you see me? What do you got? We live?
Okay.
Okay. If class is good, yeah, I don't know. I don't have no way to know. Class is good. Go ahead and transliterate this word here. I mean, it's good. The screen go out and freezes sometimes, so lucky about that. That's just the difficulty we have in the Lashawan Qadash's class tonight. You know. But anyway, everybody transliterate this word here. See what you got. We'll learn a little bit more about it. Can you put a 1 in the chat there? If you can, they can. Just use yourself. That's just like the audience, right? Is that you? Then they can hear it. Whatever you can do, they can hear it. That makes pretty much, okay? Especially in this environment here. Okay, what we got?
Sister Labaya said, Ratazan
Film.
Haya.
Anybody else she can hear?
She said 1.
Okay, good, great. What is it?
Ratazaaha. I mean, Salaki.
What?
Ratazahaya.
Y-A? She said H-A-Y-A?
Kind.
And anybody else? Close. If I'm not mistaken here. This thing ain't gonna start buffering on us again. Yeah. That's what I thought.
Salaki, if I may.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I said R-A.
And I mean, let's do this. Hey. Do this again here. I'm sorry. Instead of this, I put the wrong one down anyway. I do that from time to time. So lock you. Here. Do that. Just add that on the end. Try that again, people. Same word. I'll spell it again. Try that one. I put a ya and it shouldn't have been a ya. It should have been whatever that is. Try it again. She had R, A, what? T, A,
Z,
C, A. We'll stop it right there until she rewrites it. Because I added that on there. Okay? Made a mistake. Did that. Right? Now what you got? Or whoever, the officers.
H-A-N-A. N-A.
She got R, give me the whole thing.
R-A-T-A-Z-A-H-A-N-A.
She said N-A?
Kind of.
That's Chaazaq Shapar.
Alright.
So what is this? Anybody in the chat? We'll give you a chance again out there. Labaya and Officer, Shara, Jada, who else?
That's it.
People looking at, even the officer, can't remember his name. From North Carolina, from Fayetteville.
Right.
Let's check this. There's something wrong here. Right? If you look on your chart and see what that is. You say in. So I know. I'll even make it better. Well, that's about the same. As far as the chart, we'll give you another chance. Look at that chart and check it out. What do you got? Give me another spelling of that word right there. You're very close. Very, very close.
Alright, give it a shot.
Huh?
So I have to take a shot at it.
No, give them a chance there because they're, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, Sister Natasha checking in.
Natasha. Okay, all right. Good. So let's do this word again here. Yeah, Sister Natasha checking in. All right, what we got? What's your spelling? Anybody else in the chat?
La.
Everybody added anything else? We'll give you a chance to do that again. And here, you said nah. Let me show you what a nah looks like. A nah looks like this. That's what a nah look like. Sort of like that, right?
Right.
I mean, I kind of exaggerated a little bit, but a nah sort of looks like this. It's a little difference. One's got a little slant to it, and I kind of put the slant on there just so you'll see that there's a difference between this and that. They look so damn close to, I mean, I did a whole class on the differentiations of words and how you spell them, how they look. But that's a nah right here. So if that's a nah, then what's this word? What's that? I'm sorry, what's that character? What's that character? Because that's the nah, and that's what we're trying to spell this word out. So you have R-A-T-A-Z-H. You got something else going on here that shouldn't be there. What we got?
Not right now. This Sister Natasha had just checked in.
What you got, Chaazaq? Talk to me.
I got R-A-T-A.
Wait a minute. What?
R-A-T-A.
Yeah.
Z-A.
Okay.
H-A-K.
H-A-K.
Right.
That's what you got?
Right.
Anybody else? Somebody else got something.
Sister Labaya said Chaazaq Shapar.
Spell it. Spell what you got.
R-A-T-A.
T-A.
Z-A.
Z-A.
H-A.
Uh-huh.
K-A. She said that's in the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The two things the things that you don't, okay, you guys both are so close here. what you got here in the Lord's Prayer, it's what does Ratazaya Ka? Okay, because of what that's spelling. And this is where I'm kind of emphasizing, that's why I don't like using the Syrian language, because it's hard to hell to spell. Look at this. All of those are wrong. Now, if I were to do this, now watch this. Now watch this. If I were to do this, let me see.
Sister Labaya said cut the A.
Well, she. Wait, hold on. And if I was to say like this, right here. Like that. Now spell that. Spell that. Right on the, Sister Labaya, spell this, because all of these are wrong. They're close, but they're not it. Spell it in, I'm going to use the, I'm proving a point, in the ancient Hebrew. You know, the ancient Hebrew, use the ancient Hebrew as what I have outlined. And it's not your fault, really, because they don't give these, what are these? Connectors here, right? And it's hard to spell. It's hard to understand a language that doesn't have the full connectors on it. And that's what it is. Anybody else in the chat? Go ahead.
Sister Alicia, Real Officer Maradaki are checking in.
Who?
Alicia, the Officer Real Maradaki are checking in.
Alicia. Okay. Glad to have you, Sister Alicia.
And Sister Labaya said R-A-T-A-Z.
R-A-T-A.
Z-A.
Z-A.
H-K-A.
H-K-A. Now we got something. Clap it up. Clap it up right there. Clap it up. Now, what's the difference? The difference is the ancient versus the Assyrian. That's the difference. Where it's a Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai Barak, a thumb to all my brothers in the I.S.U.P.K, especially in the chat. Yahweh Shemar Alatha Shem Yahweh Shai to all my sisters. And we're glad that you're here with guys, because when you're doing class, make sure you have your headdress on, like I have for the men, and then for the women, make sure you have your heads completely covered. Okay? Right. Okay, but here's the correct way. Ratazaya ka. Okay? And that means Ratazah is like will. Like when the Lord wills something. Like he wants you to do something, or he will it to be, or your will. In other words, your understanding, your knowledge, your will, your direction. What we got in the chat there?
Sister Labaya said the connectors help. The connectors help.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That's what I've been emphasizing for 3 years I've been teaching this class. That's what you got to get. So when we say ka means your in Hebrew. And that is a possessive adjective. Okay? And that's why you see it in the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa Shabashim Maya Qadash Shamka. Yahweh Malachaka Thaba Ratazayaka, I'm sorry. That's what you're hearing. Okay? Ratazayaka. your will. Okay? So when you sing Ra to Za, I'm sorry, Ra to Za Ka, Ra to Za Ka. That's what you're hearing. You're hearing your will. So we say your will. And like Sister Labaya, what was that comment again? Someone got a hand claps now. Who did that?
I did.
Good. You learned, huh? So what we got? Who put the what Sister Labaya say?
She said connect herself.
Yeah.
Talking about the angel.
That's what I've been saying. Connectors, they transcend and they go across, which is the more into particular of the word to transcend. It means that when you're saying Ratazayaka, you're saying your will. The Most High will be done, right? And it says, but when you spell it out here, I mean, even I wrote it. I mean, of course, I admit to putting a yah there, but that at least you got that right. But still, up here, when you say Ratazah and then you put a ha there, but you don't know what to do here. You don't know the rules, do you? You know why you don't know the rules? Because there ain't a whole lot of rules to the Syrian Hebrew.
Nah.
You got to be real good at reading what?
Syrian. I mean,
the ancient
Hebrew.
To understand, to even think about understanding that. And Labaya, Sister Labaya, right?
Okay.
She has from day one gotten this ka, and that na has gotten her into a whole lot of different meanings. Because they look so much alike, man.
Right.
Don't they look alike?
Right.
And I know she's having a problem with it because she's still doing it. It looks like that in the chart. Sorta. I mean, it's hard as hell to understand this over that. Because they look just alike. You look at that chart, they look alike. But one's got a little bend to it, just a little, just enough to make it. So I exaggerate that bend so you'll know it's not that. This is not that.
She said she can't see it, LOL.
Well, hey, listen. Okay, look. All right, okay, let me tell you. All right, that's really what it really looks like. Can you see that a little better, Sister Labaya? Because see, and I know she catches hell with it. I can't explain it no better than that. I mean, if I were to do about a chart even better, it will look like this. Something like this. Something like that, right?
One stem longer.
One stem's longer and one stem's shorter.
Right.
And one is straight up and down and the other has a slight bend to it.
Right.
But that's for me. I have gotten into really? I have gotten into the understanding of, matter of fact, let's get into that right now. But anyway, you guys got that. When you say your will, you want to use ka, your will. So how you say it, Ratazaya ka, your will, the Lord's will. Lord, your will be done. That's what he's asking you, man. You know, whatever. I give myself to the point of like throwing myself to you, Lord, so your will can be done. And so when when a wife say to her husband, my Lord, that's what you're saying. That's how the household works. Say your will. But in this case, it's talking about the Lord, of course. Right. So when we say Kanado Khan, we're saying my Lord. Of course, a man is just saying my teacher. You know? But a woman, when she says, she's saying to her out of respect to her husband that, you know, you're my teacher and you're my husband. And two, if a woman say Kanado Khan to you, she's saying out of respect that out of all our men, when I'm talking to a man, I'll call them my teachers. But the ultimate teacher for her would be her husband, right?
That's what she has a husband.
Yeah. Well, no, she's gonna have a husband. She's gonna have Commander General YAHANNA as a. If she don't have a husband, then she has a what? Father. Her daddy, Commander General YAHANNA, right?
Right.
Or one of these captains in here. He's watching charge, but they're Commander General YAHANNA's children. Am I right?
Right.
Yeah, you don't believe that? You know, you figure it out. You better treat them right. Right?
Okay.
All right, let's get into some of that real quick. What you got? 28?
Yeah.
28. But listen, let me get into it because I see that people have problems, right?
30 now.
Yeah, I see people have problems, and I'm going to use the rest of the time for this class to, I think we still got some officers in class too, because I see that with people having it. I want to get into prepositions, and I wanted to get into possessive adjectives, and I wanted to get into some root words, and I want to get into the differences between ancient and Assyrian Hebrew. Because I know people, it proves the point. It's hard, man. But anyway, check this out. All right, here you go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's do this right here. All right, man. Wait a minute. What?
Man, I had thought in my head.
All right, I want you guys to tell me. Okay, and I want you guys to go from right to left and tell me what these things are. Because this can be a absolutely woolly. Right?
All right.
They can be hell on wheels, I'm telling you. Some of these. It can be hell. But we're going to show you anyway. Some of these things are like, God dang. They're hard. All of them. Check this one out. Was even you a second ago, Chaazaq, was trying to figure out the difference between them. Anyway. I want you to tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the chat, tell me what those are. Whew. So in other words, number on your paper or your chat. Who else in checking the class?
I know that was the last thing Sister Labaya had said.
Tell me what these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Write in the chat. What is 1? 1 equal 2 equal 3 equal 4 equal 5 equal. Take your time. We are not in a race here. I used to have an instructor that used to love to erase. Well, ain't no reason to today, ain't no reason to be in a race. You either get it or you don't.
Right.
I don't believe in racing unless I got to, unless there's something on the other end of that thing worth racing for. Right. This is worth just getting it. Get it down pat. Speed will come later. And once you have that speed, then you will be able to differentiate. That's the whole word. This is called we're going to give this little part in the class, we're going to call it this. Differentiate. Is that how you spell that right? I think that's right. Yeah, let's see if I got that right. Differentiate. I don't know if that's right. I know it's in other words, what's the difference? To look at these similar but unsimilar.
Okay, that's right.
Did I spell that right?
Kind of, okay.
Okay, differentiate these characters. And they're mixed in with ancient, they're mixed in with Assyrian, but tell me, what are they? and they have the same sounds when you use from chart to chart. So just tell me what sound they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say 1 is something, 2 is something, 3 something. Tell me what is it? You know, what is it? What sound are these? Differentiate them. Tell me. Because if you cannot do that, it will be hard, even in the ancient and the Assyrian, to come up with what the words. We're not frozen, are we?
La.
Good. So everybody heard. So take your time and do those. Every once in a while, I'll throw those down in class so people, because I know people will catch absolute hell. And those are the ones that people catch hell, man. I mean, I know they do.
Because they're so similar.
They are so, that's why we wanted to differentiate. Because they look alike,
But they're not the same.
they are not, they are total different. All together. They have nothing to do with each other. So come on, break it down for me now.
This right here, when you first starting off, it'll deprive you and make you not want to do it no more.
It make you not want to do it no more. Yeah, this right here, this right here, this this is what you call a Hebrew fire, right?
Right.
This is what you call what you got, a Hebrew fire? I don't know if I get a flame real quick. That right? That's the Hebrew fire. That right? That a little better?
Okay.
That's the Hebrew fire, man. Had an officer up in Washington, man. He said, man, now that right there, that tells you right there. That tells the story right here. But if you got to differentiate these words so you'll be able to understand what they sound like. Because if I tell you a preposition, if I tell you a character, and like we just did, ratazayaka, and you're looking at it and you don't recognize that, then you're not going to be able to come up with the right word. Well, if you can't come up with the right word, then you couldn't possibly pick out the correct possessive adjective or preposition.
Right.
Because you don't know what you spell it. You got to be able to spell it. So when you go in there and make a list of things that you put down in class that I've given you, you say, oh, okay, I know what that is. Oh, that's right. That's ka.
Right.
That's your. You know? And if you can't see that that's a ka, then you got some real things going on there. So tell me, what are these? They look goddamn alike. Do they not?
Okay.
All right. Talk to me.
Especially for a beginner.
Yeah, of course. Anybody else got something in the chat there?
Lie.
What they got? Nothing?
Lying ain't gonna help.
For a beginner, yes. And for people who've been doing it a long time.
Right.
You know? I mean, in other words, in order to read Hebrew, you gotta be able to know the difference or to differentiate these. What do you got? Who's writing there? Who's talking?
Sister Labaya said number 1, Za.
1 is a za.
Okay.
Okay. 2 is.
She said 2 is Ra.
Shit. I forgot all about the damn Ra.
She said 3 is.
Yeah. 2 is Ra.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No. Hell. And 3 is what?
3 is Ka.
3 is Ka.
She said 4 is Na.
Oh.
And 5 is Ga.
Ah. Anybody else?
La.
What you think? Now for Sister Labaya, if I was to say 6 right here, then and I would say a Ra looks like this. You know what I do when I do Ra's, right? That's a Ra.
Right.
Why is that a Ra? Because it's compact, height-wise, it's wide at the top. That's a Ra. Well, how is it different from that right there?
Because too got like a point instead of a wide. It's like a rod make a wide truck tire.
A rod is a wide. I didn't even put the rod down there. So really that rod, instead of that being a rod, is actually a what?
A da.
It's actually a da. It's actually a da. Okay? You look on that chart, you see that that's a da, sis.
She said da.
Huh?
She said da.
Da, yeah. I mean, it can, don't get me wrong. Hell, I had forgot I didn't put a rod there. Anybody else got something up there?
La.
Okay. What's that? Hand claps or something?
Nah, she put a like a little the test.
Eyeball?
Yeah, like the
well, the 6, number 6 is a ra. The ra actually looks like that.
right.
Anyway, the number 1 is a za. She says za, but that ain't a za, is it?
La.
So what is it?
Wa.
It's actually a wa. Now, what does a za look like? A za, a real za, looks like this, like that. Okay? I mean, I kind of like, I mean, you know, it don't matter if I over-exaggerate it or not, but it sort of looks like that. Okay? Does that look right?
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. That's a za. But that wa, you gotta remember, they look close. As a matter of fact, if I was to do that za again, it would look like, you gotta remember, none of us are Syrian in here, but it looks like just a slant, like that. Sort of like that. Now what's the difference? How is that different? Because if you look at this slant up to the top, it's going toward the sky.
Right.
But over here it's going exactly, it's going like, and plus it's in the middle and one's on the end. Big difference.
It's a horizontal.
Yeah, what I just wrote, a wa looks like that. Well, like this. A little stem, a straight line down, and there's a little stem up in the air. That is a wa.
Right.
And sometimes it's just written in the Tanakh as straight down. Sometimes. Okay?
Okay.
All right? Got it? Now what's number 3? Ka? She got that right. That's right. That is a ka.
She said the wa and za and the na look similar.
The wa.
Za and na look similar.
She said a na.
Kind. Yeah. Wa.
Yeah.
Na and za. I mean, yeah. Wa, na, and za.
That's wa. And then a na looks like this. You gotta understand. The na that occurs at the end is a little longer. That's what you have to understand.
And then it's an ending character.
Okay. And it's an ending character also. These other 2 characters are a little shorter, but this one's longer, and it's bent at the top. Okay? That's the difference. All right?
Like
What's the 4?
it's a na.
That is the na. See how I drew it similar right there to the same? I mean, it can be confusing just starting. I understand. Even if, no matter how many times you do it, you have to do these over and over to get them. And what's number 5? Well, it's a God. It's only kind of like it's floating under. So now you see the difference, and I just did 6 or 7 of them.
Right.
There are more. We'll get on this next week, right? What time we got?
8:45.
8:45, yeah. We got, but y'all understand that? And I hope you do. I hope you understand. I know people are looking in. Some people are not putting it in the chat. But I hope you understand. Got Sister Labaya and some people, Sister, Officer Qadash. You got to understand something. The similarities are so subtle that if you don't pay close attention to them, and I drew them as best I could from the chart because I've been doing them so long, but this is how I see them in the Tanakh. I know the first one is a wa, the next one is a da, and that could be misconstrued easily as a ra, but I know that it is not as wide as this ra here. That's the reason why. I know that when I see a ra, it's like real wide and compact. Like that. And it's a little wider than the da. What do it look like? You got to pay attention to those subtle differences to differentiate. Then you have a na. Well, it's a little bent. That's how I know it's not a ka. It's a little bent up here. And then the ga, of course. Then you have the wa, like we've done back there over here. Then we have a za. It looks, it's like a T, only crooked at the top. And of course, I mean, you know, these little similarities make a big difference. They're subtle. You got to practice them. There's so much difference there. These are the ones that give people so much havoc. So much havoc. And there's some words that look like O's and shields. Some things have their own look to them that you can easily differentiate, like a Z or za. Right?
Not the Zaza.
And not the Zaza. But you got to get the understanding of what these things look like. We got a couple minutes here. Like when you're doing stuff like it took me a while to get used to these. You know? It took me a while to get used to those. And, you know, ha, ka, tha, ha, ka, tha.
I always looked at them like music notes.
Well, they look like it. That's what they look like. Ha, ka, and a tha. They look alike. Very similar. And it's hard to tell. And I used to get the taza and the I mixed up sometimes. Sometimes like this, the taza, and then that I. I used to always get them mixed up. And that I right there.
Right.
I used to get them mixed up because they kind of do look similar. You got to pay attention to them. Okay?
Right.
And so on and so forth. I mean, if you don't pay attention to these, you know, the ha, the ka, and the tha. And sometimes, I think in every class, I may go over these just for the sake of differentiation and then start to go, because I don't want to get into sentences too heavy. I just want to teach you some prepositions, like we've done before. There's one class where we had prepositions, and before I get into things like tenses, because if I give you a tenses, you'll just be writing down, you won't be participating. Because it'll lose you.
Right.
So I have to start with something simple. I mean, it's hard for all of us, but when you're reading Hebrew, you have to know this chart. If I knew that everybody out there knew that chart, then I'd be off on the running and doing a whole lot more other things. So, that's the point. Any questions? Anybody got any questions in class? Anybody? Anybody? Right? Anybody got any questions out there? Who's the officer?
Officer Ayathan.
Ayathan. And who else? Lazar, Sarah, Jada, Labaya. Anybody else got any? We had, I don't know where the other officers are. We had, they usually check in class to keep going, but you know, you'll see. I mean, you know, you check in the class and support your You're troopers. If you're a trooper, you should be checking in this class, period. Aquanaya, you should be in this class. Right?
Right.
Aquanaya, you should be in this class, period. Okay?
Right.
And other troopers, and even some of you young officers, you know, you still learning about Hebrew. Check in class. Anybody, any comments?
Sister Labaya, I said, I don't want.
Okay, good. Let's clap it up for class, okay? Right. Now, what time we at? Anyway, don't matter. Come on.
50.
Yeah, come on. Give me some announcements up here.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
I get a preaching officer hand clap, good hand clap. Shalom, this the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. You got the I.S.U.P.K started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed their sins of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is the commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi 3, 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, Ma'asharah, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. The next holy convocation is the memorial or blowing of the trumpets, which will be Friday, 15 September 2023. You can find it in Leviticus 23, 24 through 25.
Is that the news?
Kind of, okay.
Okay, it's like
Remind Akim and Atwaf to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. Alright, with that, we're going to give a salute out. Madam Shabbat. Majid. Barak. Yahweh Shapar. Going to turn to face the sisters. Madam Shabbat. Majid. Barak.
Yahweh
Shapar. With that, class is dismissed.